Hey everyone, I'm back again for another video, and this time is going to be a movie review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, first, before I get to this review, and this is going to be, I'm just going to get it finished as short as I can possibly get, because I do not want to get into spoilers, because there's a lot I really want to talk about this film, but I want to try to get it like as contained as a summary as much as possible. So, anyway, before I get to this video, I want to thank all of you guys for pretty much the freaking milestone I've reached, which is basically over 10,000 subscribers. Like, right now I am reaching very fast at the subscription count, and it's actually quite insane. I never thought I could ever reach this fast, and it's just like that 9,000 subscribers video I made before. I'm like, oh, hold on, God damn it, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that, I had to kill an ant. Anyway, I am really surprised and really thankful that this happened, and you guys are the best right now. I have 10,427 subscribers, and that's a good milestone. That's awesome. Anyway, so now the reason why I haven't been making this video yet, this review, is because I'm trying to compress everything I want to know about this movie. Like, if there's anything confusing that I haven't got the first time, I had to look at least some sources, and not some sources talking about how people are bashing this movie, giving it a bad reputation. Nope, I didn't look at any of those sources. I looked at basically some positive sources, and thankfully, yeah, you get the deal. I had to try to figure out what I forgot and what I needed to know. So, here is my initial thoughts with this movie. This movie is basically the best Jurassic Park sequel we have gotten in years. I think more so best sequel since The Lost World Jurassic Park. Sure, I'm a Jurassic Park 3 fan, but I can understand films quality-wise of what's better and what's worse. But I'm not like all the films have bad qualities and there's a worst to best quality. I'm not that kind of person. I'm more of I love every movie that I see, but I understand some problems that are in the film. Basically, I would rank my movies from which is ones I enjoyed the most. Not movies that what's worse and what's better than that one. I don't do that. But basically, so far out of any of the Jurassic Park films I enjoyed, this is the most fun I ever had since Jurassic Park 3. And honestly, I think this is, well, obviously it's way better than Jurassic Park 3, and it's definitely a step up over Jurassic World 1. Now, I mentioned in my older movie review that I love that movie and it beat Jurassic Park 3. Yeah, it did, but this film already took that direction and makes it better. And now I wanted to actually try to remake my older video of Jurassic World, the review, my 500 subscribers video, but I don't want to get to that. But again, this movie is so dang good to me. It's the direction it takes, and I love it when a new movie in a big name franchise takes a new direction instead of having to do the same route. Again, with Last Jedi, I love that movie because it takes a new direction. It doesn't have to stick to the same dang roots. It just literally goes to a new direction, because I hate it when people compare it to the old movies and call it crap, because that's not how it goes for me. But this movie takes a new direction, especially when this movie is completely satisfying, and it's completely literally, I love everything about this movie except for a few things, but I do not want to get into those. If I ever wanted to make a spoiler review, I would. But yet again, I love this movie. The things it does, it's emotional, it's action-packed as well, it's deep. It's deep too. The interviews that I looked at, most of them, they weren't lying when this movie is going to be about empathy, at least. The decisions the characters had to make were tough ones. I'm talking mainly about the good guys. And there was some things that I was questioned by, but it makes me wonder in a positive way. I want to know more about what will happen, and I can't wait to the next movie to answer questions, if possible, in 2021. Dang, the direction of this movie is great. Also, CGI and animatronics, obviously, top notch right there. There's nothing wrong with any of these CGI and special effects. Nothing. None. All these films have great special effects, There's nothing wrong with all of them. They have been topped, and it's like it's right on there, right on par since the first film, and that's all. Like, God, like that's all about special effects. But what I really mainly love about this movie is basically how the characters went. I basically love this character development more than the one in Jurassic World 1. Like with Owen and Claire, for example. They are the, like, I'm so glad the character development in that one is, like, they're much better in this one. I honestly, like, had no problem with them. It was like, at first I was more concerned about, like, what happened to them, like, at the beginning. Like, there's a certain scene that you obviously know, like, they're in the bar. Like, they go in more about it in the movie, but I don't want to get into it in detail. I was more concerned of what was going to happen because I was more, like, worried if they were not together. I don't know. This is that whole sort of thing. But, like, again, the movie, like, itself, they got these characters more fleshed out, and they're much better than they were in Jurassic World 1. And, like, I honestly love Claire more than I did in the last one. Also, again, Raptor Blue, I want to talk about her. She's badass. She's definitely earned the title. God, that's like, again, the characters, like Owen, Claire, and Blue, they're much better in this one than they were in the last one. Now, I like Jurassic World. I do like the characters there, but I like them more in this one because they take a lot of, it's like basically a much bigger role and much better role in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of things that we could talk about this movie. I keep going back and forth over and over again because, again, I have no words like what else to describe this movie. Like, there's a lot of great stuff here. There's a lot of great scenes. There's a scene, the gyrosphere scene where it goes on the water. Like, I think you might have seen that in the trailer. Basically, that scene, if I would like to say, dang, that scene is one of my favorite moments in the movie. Mainly because it's not only intense, but the way it was filmed. And I'm not gonna tell you how it's filmed. But it's like, it's that good. If you hadn't seen this movie, I'd strongly recommend to check this movie out. It's definitely a great entry to the Jurassic Park franchise. And speaking of being a great entry to the Jurassic Park franchise, it's also a worthy 25th anniversary title. Because there's a lot of great nods that it don't feel on the nose or anything. It's just, there's a lot of worthy material that references previous films without having to shove it in your face. Now, like, I love pretty much every aspect about this movie. Again, except for a few things, but I do not want to go to that. Because, again, this is basically me pretty much praising the heck out of this movie. And that's true. It's true to me. I honestly love this movie. And it's not true that this film is not as good as Jurassic Park or ain't as good as the other films. This movie basically is just as good as all the other films I enjoyed. But it just takes everything that I know about Jurassic Park and makes it and expands it. And it makes it much better. And I honestly just love the direction it's going to go. I didn't expect the whole idea I originally expected was not what it looks like in the film, because again, the trailers advertise it in a much different way. And again, never trust trailers again, because again, you got people spoiling it before it comes out, and then you got Universal taking the whole, like, they found out that people are spoiling it and now they spoiling it themselves in the trailers, and then that leads to a bunch of like a hellhole, and then you already know. Trailers didn't, and like the trailers for most people didn't end up the way it should be. But for me, I was hyped, and every single new trailer that comes out, I did feel bad every dang time they spoil something good. But again, even if they did, it still turned out to be a fun ride and a fun Jurassic Park film, especially when this movie is, like, honestly a milestone, better than Jurassic Park 3, definitely a step up in Jurassic World, and just as good as the first two films. It's honestly, to me, I really love these films, and I'm not just bandwagoning on anything. This is my thoughts. I honestly really enjoyed this movie a lot. If I were to rate this film, I did an IMDB review of it, if you could probably find it. Yeah, I do have an IMDB account now. Anyway, I did an IMDB review of this. I did give it a 10. No, not 10. 9 out of 10. Basically, I rate this one the highest of the Jurassic Park films because I enjoyed it the most. And it's like the new direction they took, the cinematography, the director, the special effects, the characters, pretty much overall story, the structure, the film itself is great. Like, literally, ever since I first saw that trailer, I knew I was going to get a good movie. And it was just so dang good. I walked out of that theater with the biggest smile on my face. And I also got really emotional when it's like some moments in this movie that is like so dang good and so emotional, even sad to at least. Especially after I hear that one emotional moment that I will not talk about and I think you already know. But again, like, this movie, again, there's so many good things I could talk about this movie, but I don't want to get into more detail on that. So, again, like, this movie is good. Hands down, best Jurassic Park film since The Lost World or the first, if whatever, depending where you like coming from at this point. But I enjoy this film at least. I love this film. I definitely recommend you guys to check it out. Definitely a worthy entry. Glad this movie took a step up and glad it had improvements. And thankfully the characters weren't annoying, except for at least a few, like Ken Wheatley. I mean, he wasn't that annoying. He wasn't that terrible, but yet again, I don't want to get into much of the issues I have with this film because those are just minor flaws. Minor flaws don't matter in a film that I really enjoy. So, yeah, to close out on this video, as I haven't said all like throughout the entire video, this movie's great. I love it. I'm glad the direction they took, and I'm actually really glad this direction is different. This is why I enjoy this movie. The difference in the whole entire story is like it didn't had to be the exact same dang thing. Like, it's literally like, yeah, there are some similarities towards the other films, but again, it does take it to a different direction, reaching from a wider space to a more smaller space. It's like definitely something worthy to the Jurassic Park that it needed a much better change. Okay, enough said. This movie's great, so I recommend it. Just check it out for yourself. And please, and also another thing, note to self, never go to a movie review first and then look at the film and then try to agree. It's not good. Also, if you see a person crapping on this film, don't listen, because what they say is an opinion. I get it. We can all accept opinions one after another. But this film, they're giving this film a bad rap, and that's not fair in my opinion. I honestly think this film is really great. Definitely a great film, and I really thought this film should have, the ratings that they gave this film is not impressive, and it's not really true in my eyes. I honestly thought this movie was really great. So, again, to close out, again, I gotta say this again. Thank you all for the 10,000 subscribers. Like, it's really awesome that I gotten this far, and it's really awesome for me to do this movie review. Like, I really enjoyed this film. I really want you guys to check this movie out. So, if anything, that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. And, of course, as always, I will see you guys later.